is the argument that when you go to play mobile games, you go in understanding that you're going to get fucked in the ass? Is that the conclusion?
All time.
If that's true,
So
that's sad. If this is one of the best mobile games you've ever seen, it's sad that that's the truth, and I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry that the pool of games for you as a player is so lowball that Diablo Immortal is considered a great game to you. This is the biggest whale I've seen in Diablo Immortal. And we're going to start by watching his video. And we're going to throw our own little hot takes in here while we're doing it. And it's going to be a fun little discussion. So, if you don't know, to max your character out in this game, which I don't even think this guy's maxed out, he costs like $50,000. 50 grand. 50 grand for all this. So, I think this guy is probably one of the biggest ones in the streaming space. We're just going to listen and we're going to talk about it. So, let's just have a good time. As we go, this video is for you, Diablo Immortal, and this is by, what is this guy's name? jtisallbusiness is his name. So, let's see how this goes.
JT here, another video after a really long night stream. By the way, guys, I want to tell y'all, thank y'all so much for coming and supporting the Twitch channel. I really appreciate you guys showing up, all the subs y'all been giving out, all the support y'all been giving, all the fun we've been having on the stream. They have been an absolute blast, and I've been having a ton of fun on Twitch. I've only been Twitching now, or I've only live streamed on Twitch now for 5 days, and every single day has gotten better and better. The crowd's grown, and it has been a ton of fun, like I was saying. I wanted to make this video.
Is the audio loud enough? It doesn't seem too loud for me.
A lot of the computer haters
Turn
that
it just a
I've
little bit.
seen, a lot of people that play computer games are hating so hard on Diablo Immortal, and I understand their view. Because honestly, I've been a computer gamer my entire life. I'm mainly talking about Asmongold and also a little bit of Rich Campbell and Quinn. I mean, all these guys are guys that I've been a fan of for years after years.
I will say the only thing that I think is weird so far in this video is the distinction between computer and mobile gamers. I mean, like, I played, I know this isn't the same thing exactly, but like I played Game Boy Color for most of my childhood. I mean, mobile gaming was a big part of it. My friends and I played DS. I mean, that is mobile gaming before it became a phone thing, right? So really what you're saying is that phone gaming is what he's trying to talk about. This is more of a phone thing than it is mobile gaming.
I think all three of them are absolutely hilarious.
Or do you mean, or maybe he means mobile, like mobile phone.
I love watching their live streams. And I think they're really good dudes as well. But I think they have a one-sided point of view of how mobile gaming works and the differences in computer and mobile gaming.
Can you guys hear him?
I've been
by the way,
in
I can't tell.
gaming since 1999, my freshman year of high school. And I used to travel the United States playing a game called Counter-Strike. And I played Counter-Strike 1.3 and 1.6. I used to play at the Cyber Athlete Professional League in Dallas, Texas. It was the first ever $1 million tournament in Texas. And my team placed 8th, right? And we won like $15,000 a piece for 5 members. Huge deal. And
it's a pretty hardcore gamer.
And we were in Cal Invite, and we constantly did big things with Counter-Strike. Well, then after Counter-Strike, I moved on to Diablo 2, not competitively. I just stopped playing Counter-Strike competitively because it didn't lead me nowhere, and honestly, we ended up falling apart, right? And the game I just grew out of the game. But however, I still play the game to this day, and I've played it pretty much my whole life as well. But not only Counter-Strike, I've also played tons of different computer games such as World of Warcraft, Diablo 2, Diablo 3. I played Warcraft 3, I played StarCraft 2, I played Hearthstone, and I played all these games. Damn,
we're getting this guy's entire bibliography, huh?
Player v player, obviously player versus player, and massively competitive, right? I was a gladiator in World of Warcraft on the BlackRock server, I was actually in Reckful's.
So it reminds me of what I do when I'm trying to justify that I'm actually good to Raiders in World of Warcraft or any other game. Well, you know, man, I got cutting edge in Legion, and I got cutting edge and this, that, and then I have all these things under my belt. This sounds like the same thing where it's just like, hey, look, I'm good.
Guild, Byron's Guild. It was called Sup Fresh Our Turn Baby. I had a threes team with Reckful in the Brutal Gladiator season. It was when Feral Druids were overpowered. I was a Resto Druid named Butta. He was Reckful, and then he had another buddy that was a Feral Druid, and we ran Rogue Double Druid. And so I was a Merciless Gladiator, a Vengeful Gladiator, a Brutal Gladiator, and so forth, right? And then I ended up quitting WoW after Wrath of the Lich King. All I played WoW for was Arena, right? So this is kind of just, all this stuff is useless information, what I'm saying, but I'm just kind of giving you guys a background that I have been a part of computer gaming basically my whole life for the last 20 years, right? And by the way, I respect all you guys to the utmost. So I was like, I've never made a video like basically talking about people's perspective. I kind of just only focus on gaming. However, all the trash talk for mobile gaming just isn't necessary in my opinion as far as like Diablo Immortal, because I've also played mobile gaming a lot. Not only do I play a lot of computer gaming, but I play a lot of mobile gaming. Been a part of a game called Clash of Clans. Have over
I'm waiting for a point here.
6 figures invested into it.
So far I haven't heard one.
Over the course of a while, right? And so had an absolute blast with that game, but again, completely different perspective. And now Diablo Immortal has come out. I've been a Diablo fan my entire life. Played D1, played D2, played D3. Was big into D3. Had a couple level 99 hardcore characters. Had one of the best low level 18 duelers in the world as an assassin. Used to buy and sell items every day off D2 JSP. Had an absolute blast. Used to buy all kinds of stuff off Kripparrian nonstop. He always had the goods. I'd always buy them. And so used to love playing Diablo 2. Some of my best childhood memories, right? Well, anyway, mobile gaming is a completely different type of vibe. You go in downloading mobile gamings knowing that there's a pay-to-play perspective and there's a free-to-play perspective, and then there's like a mediocre, like, let's just call it a...
But why though? Why are there several... Like, I don't understand. Like, okay. Is the argument that when you go to play mobile games, you go in understanding that you're going to get fucked in the ass? Is that the conclusion? I don't understand how that's acceptable.
A minnow. We got like free-to-play players, then we got minnows, then we got dolphins, you know, then we got whales, and then we got the big boys, then we got the mega whales, right? So there's multiple different mobile game type players.
Yeah, I would assume you're the giga whale.
A good mobile game can find how to mix all of these players into one game to have fun together in all sorts of different ways, right?
Yeah, you just take the PoE model, you put in a bunch of cosmetics and nothing that affects your actual gameplay. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. What do you mean?
Right. And so what I've found is I've played probably 4 or 5 different really good mobile games that have been able to do that, right? Clash of Clans being one of them, Castle Clash being one of them, Clash Royale being one of them. Multiple games that have just figured out that niche. Well, I just wanted to say this. Diablo Immortal is one of those games. And here's why. I'll explain. I saw the video of Rich and Asmongold. Basically, Rich had invested, I don't know what he invested, like $15,000 or something. Never went into the battlegrounds in this game ever before. And yeah, he just went in there and started basically multi-shotting and killing everybody. And so they were laughing at the video, making fun of it and being like, oh, this is what it's like being a pay-to-play well. You just one-shot everybody. Look at all, die, free-to-play, die. You know what I mean? Basically like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. When he went into the battleground, He's in a silver battleground, literally the first rank of battleground. So of course he's playing all the worst players in the battleground. That's like me being a globally.
It's not the worst players. It's the people with the least amount of gear, right? Like, so what you're saying is that he basically got to the max level, spent all of his money on the best gear, and then walked into a level appropriate area where people were not geared and one-shot them all. Like, that's not supposed to happen, right? Like, I think that's the point of the whole argument, is that, like, pay to win's a problem. Where in a game, especially in a game where you compete, like, you can't just throw out like $10,000 and then beat your opponent. It makes all their time invalidated, which is the entire point of the issue. Like,
elite Counter-Strike player and making a smurf on a silver account and just going tapping heads and going 44-0 like he did in the battleground. Of course you're gonna go 44-0, you goof. Come on, it's freaking. You just spent 15 grand and you're playing against a bunch of silvers. Wait till you get to the top of those battlegrounds, brother. Wait till you come to the legend rank and you get up there with the pay-to-play players. Let's see what happens then. Let's see what happens then. You ain't gonna be running over players like that. Like I said, it's different versions of the game, different places.
It's not different versions as much as it's just you paid to skip to Wrathful Gladiator while everyone else is at the beginning of the expansion. That's all it really is. And that's still bad, though. Like, that's still really, really bad. I don't know how you're justifying it.
I also enjoy playing mobile games as a free-to-play player. It makes me feel good inside to smash somebody who is a pay-to-play. So there's different ways to look at it. There's different fun to be had.
Right, but you're not free-to-play. In the top right-hand corner of your screen, I'm pretty sure that, like, the currency you have right now is worth about $10,000.
I personally love.
And you're all all level 8 in all your gems. Like, the fuck?
Of the system of running a rift, having a chance at finding something. I'm a gambler. That makes me happy. If that makes people happy, if people enjoy mobile gaming, so be it. All the hatred doesn't need to be there.
So it's a gambling platform. That's what you're saying. That's literally what he just said. He said, I'm a gambler. I like gambling. Like, okay, cool. That's fine, I guess. I mean, gambling is still fucked up. But how is that okay to integrate that into a game? Like, it's basically steak without any of the child protection stuff on it.
There because it's useless. It's not that important. Like, you can just move on. Just don't play the game. You don't need to talk bad about it because people like me and mobile gamers.
That also, by the way, is one of the most infuriating arguments for anyone who's like actually online playing games. Well, just don't play the game, move on, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it is the reason why shit like this keeps going on and people never have changes and we never have any, like, legislation to adjust how these rules are played out and the amount of gross amount of pay to win and microtransactions that are actually in games. Like, ignoring it is not the correct solution. You just having bro, you have a problem. You have an actual problem. You're gambling. You're gambling like $50,000, $60,000 away on a game that's only like 2 weeks old, right? It's in the beta. Like, that's an issue. That's a huge problem. Now, I don't know how much money you make. Maybe you've got like millions of dollars like Asmongold and them do. And you know what? You can throw your money away like that because like $50,000 at the end of the day with people who are that rich, $50,000 is like $50, all right? And that's okay. And you know what? If you want to do that and like, I don't know, if that's something that you want to do, maybe that's cool. That's fine. I don't give a shit. It's not about you though. What it's about is people who are like way lower way lower income, who are doing the same thing that you are, who are inspired by what you do, that are the problem. People who have no money, who don't really think about it because they weren't taught properly, or they developed the issue early on in life because of other gambling issues, and they go into a game like this, and this game is basically stealing your money away. It's like they hook you in with 800%, And then boom, 800, 400, 200, 100. Eventually you're spending like hundreds and hundreds of dollars in, and you've been robbed. And that's the problem. You probably don't have an issue because you apparently have the money to do it. Apparently. I don't know your life. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've taken a mortgage out and you've foreclosed on everything you got just to put money into this game. And if that's the case, and I'm sorry for you. But if that's not the case, which is probably not the case, you seem like a smart guy overall. Then you're a completely different person. You don't even factor into the equation. And essentially, your opinion doesn't matter really, because you're not even in the trenches with the actual set of the people actually have. It's like, even when Asmongold or Rich or Quinn or you or anyone else give an opinion about this kind of thing, your opinion is automatically already scuffed because you have the income to make up for what you've done. So it's kind of hard to even take your opinion, period.
Enjoy the game. Like, straight up, you can be free to play in this game and have a blast. I have 10 real life friends and they play free to play and all of them love it to the highest extent. I also have 3 of my very best.
If you're not competitive, asterisk. If you're not competitive, you can have a decent time. But you're still exposed to the pay to win aspects that will take money from you eventually.
Friends in real life who have all invested over $5,000 in this game and they love it. They're having an absolute blast. There's different perspectives. You know what I mean? So it's weird to me because when you've only played PC games, you don't understand that itch that mobile gamers have. And
yeah, it's the gambling itch. It's fucked up. That's where it comes down to. It's fucked up.
All the different ways that they do enjoy the gaming. So yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I don't really want to go on too much more. I just think that all the hate on Diablo Immortal isn't necessary because this is the best mobile game I've ever played and ever seen. And Blizzard's one of my favorite companies of all time.
If that's true,
so
that's sad. If this is one of the best mobile games you've ever seen, it's sad that that's the truth, and I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry that the pool of games for you as a player is so lowball that Diablo Immortal is considered a great game to you. Because I've seen people play the game. It doesn't look hard at all. It looks really, really boring. And if you're spending like, $50,000 like you are, it's probably pretty easy as well, for the most part. If you're having fun, cool. It's not a good game though. Don't even try to say it's a good game. I'm pretty sure Diablo 3 is probably better, which is saying a lot because that game's not good either. But yeah.
So whenever they make a mobile game, I personally couldn't wait for it. I love all Blizzard's free-to-play games as well. Like, I love all the Diablos. I personally can't wait for Diablo 4. I'm probably going to stay up for 70.
How many free-to-play games do they have? Isn't it just Hearthstone? Right? I'm pretty sure like none of them are free-to-play except Hearthstone. Or StarCraft, maybe. StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is free-to-play now. And that's like it. And like, I'm pretty sure you're not talking about StarCraft because you haven't mentioned it yet. But like, there's like hardly any free-to-play games by Blizzard. So I don't know what that argument is.
2 hours and grind it non-stop. Like, I'm pumped up for Diablo 4. However, I have a love for Diablo Immortal as well. And it has made a great game. Like, whenever I'm traveling, if I'm in the airport, I can whip out my phone. I can play Diablo Immortal. I can't do that with Diablo 3. I can't do that with Diablo 2.
Negative $1,000 in the airport.
This game is for mobile gamers. The fact that you can spend money, so what? It's part of mobile.
Yeah, I said Hearthstone. I said StarCraft. Heroes of the Storm is free to play at this point. Sure. Okay, we have a couple free to play games. But like, he's not mentioning all though. He's talking about Diablo. And like, none of the Diablo games are free to play. None of them are free to play. You still have to pay for all of them. So I don't know what he hasn't given any examples, so. No, I said Hearthstone. You can go back in the VOD and look.
Gaming, yes. You can spend money and advance the character, and your character can have more stats in this game. Does that help you against free-to-play players in any way? No, it doesn't in this game. There's nothing about spending money that gives you an...
Right, and yeah, proxy, exactly. And that's the thing I was talking about too, is that the perspective of this guy is completely skewed because he doesn't understand how regular people play games. Like, he thinks it's a mobile versus PC player thing. It's not. It's, you have hundreds of thousands of dollars at disposal, so $50,000 doesn't seem like a lot to you. This guy's throwing $50,000. This guy is wearing 40 grand, and he's got $10,000 in his bank at the top right. Okay? This guy is not hurting for money, obviously, because if he was, I'm assuming his light bill would be unpaid. I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like he'd be lasting very long. So, if that's the case, then yeah, dude, you can throw $50,000 on a game. I'm sure if I had millions of dollars, I could throw $50,000 on Diablo Immortal and be like, hey, well, it's whatever, dude. I'll give $50,000 to charity as well. You know what I mean? $50,000 to Diablo, $50,000 to charity. That's my recompense. But still, I can understand how, like, I don't understand how, like, your brain can be so skewed as to not realize that it's about the competitive nature of gaming and not the fact that it's PC versus mobile, and still think that because you don't have enough income that you're somehow, like, I don't understand that. Like, it's obviously income based.
An advantage over free-to-play players. Yeah, you have a better character than free-to-play players, but you're never going against free-to-play players. In the battlegrounds that I'm in, I have never once played a single player that hasn't spent under $3,000 to $5,000. I don't play.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. That's a massive problem.
Any players that have ever spent under $3,000 to $5,000 in any of my battlegrounds ever. You can come in my stream. You can watch them. It's at twitch.tv/jtisallbusiness.
Dude, not even if you're not playing paycheck to paycheck, you'll end up, like, spending most of your money on this game, even if you have a standard income. And you're just susceptible to gambling. You could just lose your livelihood because of this game. Completely. I was talking to a friend yesterday. Who plays Nino Crooney Crossworlds. And I asked them how much money they put into the game. They said they don't know. They said they didn't know how much money they put into the game. And they went and checked how much money they put into the game, and it was $600. You don't know that you spent $600 on a game? What? People who play games like this distort reality when they play it. It distorts their reality. They don't think about all the little things that they put into the game. And eventually, before they know it, they've dropped $600 to $1,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 before they even take a look at what they've done. Now, granted, people do this all the time. This isn't just a gaming thing. This is, oh, I'm going to go out to eat today. Oh, I'm going to go out to eat tomorrow. I'm going to go eat the next day. And then, like, all of a sudden, you've spent, like, $700 because shit's expensive right now. That's the closest thing I can think about, because right now, when we order things out in this house, it's like $100 because we're paying for 4 people. That's about how much we spend when we go take out, right? And if you don't think about it, you don't realize how much you're spending. And it's the same thing with games like this. Games should not be a money trash, like a waste of money. You should not be dumping money into the game unless you love the game. And even if you love the game, you shouldn't be dumping money into a game to become better. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, paying to win is a huge problem. And when you pay to win, it incentivizes you to pay more to win. Because once you feel like, oh, I'm getting really strong, well, I can be stronger. Let me throw in $600 more. And that's the biggest problem, right? That's how they hook you in. It starts off with, oh, you can pay $1 for an entire bundle of gear. And then, boom, you're paying hundreds of dollars.
There's never any free-to-play players anywhere to be found. There's never, you know what I mean? And all these players are starting to catch up. Now, once players get to the max rank, then the big heavy whales can duel it out. Some people enjoy that. Me personally, I enjoy that. I like having a maxed account. I like the fact of grinding. I like the fact of spending money to max out the...
I will say you obviously don't like grinding. Because if you liked grinding, you wouldn't be paying to skip the grinding. That's a fallacy in immediately, JT. JT, that is not in any way, shape, or form what you like. If you liked grinding, you wouldn't be spending $50,000 in the game.
Account to grind against the other players that spent money to max out their account and just go to war. Like, that's fun to me. It literally gets my adrenaline going, and I simply enjoy it. So yeah, that's that. I also enjoy being a free-to-play and doing things in free-to-play mobile games as well. Now, what I was saying is, me being a pay-to-play, how does this affect the game of Diablo Immortal?
It incentivizes the people who run the game to continue their actions. That's the problem. You being a pay-to-win player incentivize people who run companies like this to continue doing what they're doing. It's not all on you. The government needs to make a stance, but you are partially responsible. Just like how everyone else who's playing the game right now, paying money like Asmongold, they're partially responsible because they are still feeding the beast. Okay? I'm not going to put all the responsibility on you, but that is how you're affecting the game.
How does it puncture a free-to-play player's like gameplay? It doesn't. The only difference is the pay-to-plays can get better gear and waste their money on a mobile game. And
so when you are a pay-to-play player like you, and you play, let's say like Rich, how he went into the Silver League Battleground and he wrecked everyone around him, it's the same problem with Overwatch, where people allocate skins to skill. You go into, and Blizzard had already said, Blizzard has a patent on the fact that they hook people together who do not pay for the store. So Blizzard has a patent on this, where they can, let's say if you aren't a pay-to-play player and you don't have any power increase, but you bought the transmog skin that you have right now. Let's say that in Diablo Immortal, they have no power increase, but they bought the transmog skin that you have right now. You are more likely to go and get someone who has that as a free-to-play player, because that's what Blizzard patented. It's the same problem with Overwatch. Overwatch has the same issue, because Blizzard knows that you psychologically think to yourself, oh, the player who killed me has a really cool skin. And then you think to yourself, wow, maybe I should buy a skin. I know that's like a crazy thing for anyone who is actually like sane to come to the conclusion, but that happens. People see a player who does really well using a skin. They're like, oh, I want to use that skin too. And that's how in Overwatch they manipulate you to buy skins or to buy boxes. In this game, it's the same way. They make sure to put you with people who are free to play at the beginning when you first start buying stuff, so that you absolutely crush their souls and make them want to play, to pay the game, to get to where you are, because they just got destroyed by a group of people who are paying for the game. So yes, you completely affect people who aren't pay to win. Absolutely, you have a direct connection, a direct influence on people's paying habits. You directly are responsible for that. Obviously, it's Blizzard, but you do affect the game when you do that.
And the money just goes into the mobile game, into Blizzard's pocket, and they get nothing out of it, but they get enjoyment and happiness, and that's what they want to do, and that's what they choose to do. So who cares at the end of the day? You know what I mean? It simply doesn't matter. So, I mean, that's that. As far as this account, as my account, you will never see me in any competitive way of a free-to-play player. If anything, I'm helping out all free-to-play players. I help them out in any way. I'll run dungeons with free-to-play players. I'll help them get better gear. I do this stuff on a regular basis. Not only that, since I've spent so much money in this game, I actually have extra gems of all sorts of stuff. By the way, I mean, I got rank 10 gem resonated gems. I have tons of extras So what do? I go to my auction house, my marketplace, and I put these gems in there for nothing. I hand these gems out to all the
That's kind of you. Does not make up for the fact that you are part of the problem.
free-to-play players, because that's the type of dude I am. I want everybody to get this stuff, because why not? I don't need it anymore. So I'm like, hey boys, if y'all are on my server, everybody's getting free gems. Cheapest price you can possibly get in the market. I'm gonna put up 8 gems at one time for you boys. Told my stream that. I'm gonna do that. Anyway, it is what it is. Mobile gaming's fun gaming. It's a different style of gaming than computer gaming, but it's still amazing gaming. And sorry, man, I've been ranting on for so long. I just keep hearing all the hatred on Diablo Immortal when it doesn't deserve it. And it's literally the best mobile game that's ever been invented. Like, yeah, it's pay to play. That's obvious. But so is every mobile game on the market. And I actually maxed this account out for, like...
Wait, you have to pay to use the auction house? Really? It's even worse, Proxy. What the fuck?
a fourth of the price I had invested in other games. Like, this game is not even that bad as far as maxing it out to some people. You know what I mean? Some people, yeah, it's a ton of money. Well, guess what? Those people can be minnows or they can be dolphins. And if the game's good enough, then they will stick around and they'll play it because the game knows how to basically
steal your money,
allow them to have fun and do what it needs to do to let them have a fun gameplay, basically. I mean, and if not, they'll quit, right? They'll quit. This game is going to last for a very long time because I'm telling you, I've been around
God, I hope
gaming
not.
for a long time. Been playing mobile games since 2014. And I've been spending money in mobile games for a long time, and I've also had free-to-play accounts in mobile games for a long time. And I see both aspects, and I also see the view from a
You really don't see both aspects. It's very obvious how completely blind to the other aspects you are. Like, I'm not trying to shit-talk someone on their own video, but there's no... Everything you've said so far, it's very clear that you have no clue how other people play games. You've no idea. You're in your own little whale world. You have no idea. And you're not even trying to understand.
computer from only a computer gamer's aspect. That's why.
And it has nothing to do with computer gaming. It's a computer game. You can play Diablo Immortal and Genshin Impact and Ni no Kuni on the computer. It's a computer game. Okay? It just happens to have a mobile game too. They're both the same. It's a game. Stop dividing the two.
That's why I wanted to make this video and hope that Asmongold sees it. And I'm sure, you know what I mean, with their personalities, I've been watching these guys for a long time, right? I know they're thinking like, oh, let's make fun of this dude or do whatever. Look, I don't care about that. It is what it is.
No one has to make fun of you. You did it yourself. And I think that's where I'm going to end the video. Honest to God. JT is all business. We used this video for content, so feel free to go follow him. All that stuff. I'm a sub. In case he's got other hot takes later on, I'll sub. And we can bring it back up later if we have more of a discussion point to make for Diablo Immortal. Feel free to go say hi. He doesn't need the money, so I mean, it's obvious he doesn't need the money. So that is what it is. We'll be right back. We're gonna start doing Algaia, so I'll be right back and we're gonna start it up and we'll have fun. Good video. I had a good time talking.